it needs to be proven to me that Power are here to take down the top teams. You know, G2 looked vulnerable earlier on. I just think that they will level up. I think they know how to improve as an event like this goes on. And I think that, unlike the matchup that G2 played earlier on, now they have a mechanical advantage. I say as Chicago misses a backwall read, and then another one, as if to prove me wrong. Now, I think that Power have to prove it to me. I need to see it to believe it right now. I don't. But this is a team that hasn't played up to their potential as well. You know, Power need to be thinking about games first. Just like we said about the James Cheese Falcons match, just take it one game at a time. Let's just figure out how do we win this game. Forget about the series as a whole. Let's just try and take it game at a time. And, every game matters. If you win one game, then that really helps them out tomorrow.
Especially looking right now at how the seeding is starting to shape up. It has very much become every game is going to dictate who you could go up against. Amethyst waiting on the far side for Fever. Who is unable to get to the ball by himself. I get the feeling as well as whilst Falcons were kind of inviting James Cheese into the series at times, G2 will happily just slam the door shut as quickly as possible.
Yeah, they're going to need to keep doing that because, you know, I've been talking to a lot of the players about the OCE teams and what they expect from them. And although the OCE teams are not feeling all that confident at the moment, I've been hearing that Fever's been playing very well. Fever's been extremely impressive in practice, and a lot of people are taking notice of that. Of course, he's the new player on this team. He played with CJ, and Kami last season on the Renegades roster. Now he's switched over to another top team in the region. Amethyst and Torsos, both at times in recent years, have been called the best player in OCE. So has Fever. So, you know, definitely a super team in our hands here.
Yeah, you get the feeling that if OCE are going to be able to remake their mark on the international stage, this is the squad.
It should be, yeah.
And certainly needs to show it as Atomic dared Torsos to come and challenge him. This is where G2 wants to be. Keep an eye on the booster mans right now. Amethyst is the only one that's got anything significant to work with. And now they're really stuck in it, but Fever dives at the ball, realized that they had to make a desperation play, and now they've turned it!
What?
G2 had all the cards stacked in their favor, and they've completely lost control.
I love that pass in field from Torsos. He didn't even jump for that one, he just pops it right onto Fever's head. And unfortunately for G2, it just bounces in off a goalkeeper. This isn't the first time that has happened today. I mean, it might be time for G2 to just make sure they're on the inside of that goal line when they're on the goal line. If you're slightly outside and the ball hits you, who knows, maybe it's just going in. Like I said, we saw that happen to them against Oxygen in their first match of the day. Now it's happened again. Things are just going from bad to worse for G2, but where's the regain? It has to be around the corner. It has to be just about to make its nose seen around that corner. Half the game gone, Power lead 1-0.
What I do really appreciate from Power is that it was proactive. All of them had about 12 boosts left. And it was like, okay, we need to go now because if we don't, it's done. It's as good as a goal without it actually being on the board just yet. Sent themselves for it, got themselves into a better position.
Look at this.
1-0 to Power, and again, they are being proactive. Oh, wow! One of the best goal steals you will see.
Oh, the faces on the left of the screen are absolutely comical there as Torsos almost saves his teammate's shot after landing the demo on the goal line. But before that, Atomic got beat into the ball by an absolute mile. What is going on? Fever dusted him by an entire desert's worth. It was ridiculous.
Amethyst is going again. Torsos wants another one, but Atomic avoids being hit this time around. But Power have spotted it now. They know that goalkeeper is vulnerable.
This is crazy. It's not just the fact that G2 are trailing 2-0. It's the fact that every time Fever goes for the ball, he makes contact. That's a great team save. I don't think Fever or Amethyst had a confident save with either one of them, but with both of them combined, they've managed to angle that one clear. But yeah, look at how Power are making contact. Every time they go, they're getting there.
I need to see this again because surely not, but G2 are struggling to figure out who's supposed to go, and Atomic just waited.
They're getting beaten. I mean, again, Fever beats his opponent to the ball. G2 are the team who are losing the mechanical race.
But my problem for that one is that Atomic faced it and then corrected himself. He was facing the ball, could go for it, change the angle of the cut, and by then it was far too late. It was the sort of positioning that you do when you want to bait someone in for a challenge that you know you've already got won. As you said, ends up just allowing himself to get beat to the ball. 3-0.
Really?
No way. 3-0. Oh dear.
Oh goodness!
Okay, this is starting to be the thing that is happening.
Oh my goodness! Go next. Just go next. G2 want to forfeit. If you could forfeit in this format, I'm sure they would, because it has gone wrong every way that it could go wrong. Atomic's getting beaten to the ball. Chicago's just hit the bar on the most open net of the day, and JNAP's missing a back wall clear. What are we watching? Who is this team in the orange right now, and what have they done with G2 Esports?
Well, for those of you that were dedicated enough to open up both of our streams, this is your reward.
Did T-Bates pick G2 to win this?
I don't think Bates got an opinion on this one, unless it was behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. Is
There's no way you've missed again.
They missed again. Oh my days! What? I'm thinking it has to be T-Bates. If anyone's not aware, he's currently 0 for 5. He's gotten every prediction wrong on the mainstream today, and he might have just snuck in a G2 prediction while they were talking about the A-stream match. That's the only thing that explains what we're currently seeing, is that T-Bates said G2 were going to win, and of course that means he's cursed them.
I have informed T-Bates that he is very welcome to join the European prediction tournament next split. I could go someone that's guaranteed to be last.
We'd love to have him, given his current record. We'd love to have him. Okay, G2 are on the board here. There's just no time, but
it's something. It's anything.
Their confidence seems to just be completely shot. I'm so surprised.
Well, look at this. Amphis he's just already chatting. He already knows that it's pretty much go next now.
Well, they're having a great time. I mean, they probably can't believe it as much as we can, because G2 were coming in as one of the hot teams in practice. Everybody's been talking about them, how they're playing so well. Now they just look so dominant and so focused. And now they just can't get it together in the field. Like you said, Atomic many times today, half goes for the ball, then he turns around in no man's land. Somebody's got to tell him to just go. Stop hesitating, Atomic. You're such a good player. You're one of the best players in the world. If you think you can get to the ball, you probably can. Just stop with the hesitation, because as long as it keeps happening, it's Atomic and it's Chicago and JNAPs that are getting confused, and it's G2 that are the losing team for it.
All right, calm. I'm just going to take a breath myself. That was one game. It was a catastrophic game, but it was one game. G2, go next.
Go next. Regame.
Don't do whatever that was again. And the next game is worth just as much as this one was. But
I don't know.
It's hard for us to get out of our heads. What's it going to be like for the players?
It's bizarre. I mean, I had a feeling that NA was being slightly overrated coming into this event, but this is unprecedented. This is unbelievable.
And you're about to deal with real smug Johnny at this rate.
I mean, I don't even have to try. I don't even have to dig deep.
We've not got Stumpy here for this event, but Johnny's going to have them both covered.
I mean, like I said, I almost feel bad at this point, because the day is going so badly that I don't want to point it out, but it's happening in front of our very eyes. If G2 somehow lose the series to Power, I don't know how to explain that one. I really don't. There's zero indication from anyone I've talked to at this event that this is even a remote possibility, never mind a likelihood that could happen today. None.
G2 at every event have always been an all or nothing sort of team across the entirety of the org's history for RLCS live events. But this isn't the sort of nothing that we would ever expect from them. They're now going into game number 2. Confidence can be instantly reset by getting the first goal. If you concede it, though, alarm bells go off, and Atomic needs to look comfortable here. Chicago with JNAP's midfield to aim for, ends up trying to go the entire way by himself. This first goal is huge, Johnny, and it looks like they're in the better spot.
Oh,
JNAP's is gone!
Goodness.
Power 1, G2 0.
Listen, it's easy in situations like this for one of the fan-favorite teams, one of the best teams in the world, are just not playing at their usual level. It's easy to forget, and it's easy to not notice just how well Powered are playing. I mean, this is clinical. When they see an opportunity to go for the ball, they are going with no hesitation. When they see an opening to shoot, they're putting the ball in quickly before G2 can have any chance of getting back.
It's also against what some of the players on Power have been sort of known for, where they do get matches internationally where teams are not playing at their best. And sometimes, rather than stepping up to the level that they should be, they drop down and end up trading at that sort of level when we know that they are better than that. This time around, Power have seen the level that G2 are playing, and they're not treating them like their name is G2 Esports. They are treating them like a team that is making mistakes.
Well, you know, I've got to admit, I really wrote them off, because They've been telling me that they're not confident. They've been telling everybody that they're not confident. Oh, that's not a confidence statement. Tarsos, he gets the pre-jump a little bit wrong, gets the read a little bit wrong. But it's G2's read who's on the score sheet. Nice little approach from the back post. Tarsos jumped in the wrong direction, couldn't correct himself. Finally, G2 shows some life.
And we should reiterate here, because this is obviously, given how the first game went and how this one started, Power are obviously the hot informed team right now. But for G2, if they don't have to up their level a tremendous amount to consider themselves as favorites yet again in a series like this.
I mean, that's how impressive G2 are when they're getting everything working the way they want. They're a team with so many gears that they can go to. Right now, they're stalling. They're just trying to get the engine started, never mind getting up in gears. But if they can, like I said, if they can just get it started at all, then they can beat a team like Power. They can just be the better mechanical team. They can be the better strategical team. That's something that they've done to, it's no disrespect to Power. I mean, G2 have done that to almost anyone.
We also know for G2 especially, as this is a good look here from Power, we know from G2 especially that the mental does not drop on a team like this. It's a team that had that heartbreaking bracket reset go against them over at LA, came back, smashed them in the bracket reset. Did not let that affect them in the long run. There are not many sets of players out there that can do that.
And that's sort of why I was expecting a regain from G2, and I'm so surprised to see them come out with the same lack of confidence that they showed us against Oxygen. I mean, when you're hesitating against Oxygen, that's fair enough. We've seen what they've just done to Gen G on the A stream. Oxygen's mechanics are just through the roof. They're one of the best mechanical teams in the world. So if you see one of them going for the ball, you do doubt yourself, think, well, maybe he is.
Fever, that's not good. Oh, he saved himself.
Save.
That was 100 boost wasted to get the ball into his own, well, near his own goal. That does end up being the savior for his team. 2 minutes left here, Johnny. Saw a lot of goals in the first game, but this next one, that's a little bit extra to it. Yeah,
G2 just trying to plug the gaps here and trying not to second guess themselves in a matchup where they really should not be second guessing themselves. Oh, what a bump. What a save as well, but it's not gone clear. Amphis able to salvage something. Maybe get a back pass offloaded towards Fever. Atomic's glued himself to the ball. It's much better from G2.
Not quite the comfortable fix to that problem that you would have expected. Power have been actively hunting down the goalkeeper on G2 Esports. And the response to that has just been, yeah, do a really good job avoiding the demo. That's not a spot you want to find yourself in all too often. Not only because, hey, once or twice you might actually get hit, but also it just negatively impacts your ability to save the oncoming shots.
Well, that's a miss. That's not a great touch from Fever as well. Perhaps a shot into the middle. Great recovery. Tarsos, he had that one locked down. I think maybe G2, there's a chance that they've underestimated Power coming into this. I'll be the first to say that I did by a large margin. And I think they themselves might have even underestimated the level that they're going to produce. But we're G2 expecting the heavily physical Power and the team-based Power that we're seeing. What a goal. G2 caught on the counter-attack by a full team passing play.
And I think crucially there, Fever involved in the setup because he was the one that was starting to slip a little bit. A couple of mistakes, putting his team under pressure, but switches it up, provides the assist. 2-1 to Power, 40 seconds left. Oh, G2 will have to reverse sweep. Oh, they've surely got that. Yes, they do.
It's a good save, good clear as well by G2, but they need a lot more than that right now. It's been just quality again from Power. They've been so clinical with their opportunities. The bumps in the final third have been phenomenal. The passing has been phenomenal. They're going to go for a mind game as well. Good job by JNaps not to fall for it, but what have they got in terms of transition? Can they hit Power on the counter the way that they were just...
That's a last commit.
Amphis just says, none of that. I'm just going to get the ball back in your end of the field. No, there really is no time for G2.
Oh, a miss there from Tarsos. Atomic wants to try and provide one more spark for his team. It drops down. G2 must reverse sweep Power.
What are we witnessing right here, right now, Shogun? This doesn't make any sense.
All right.
What are we witnessing?
Firstly, appreciate all of you that have got multiple Rocket League streams open. But right now is not the time to be greedy. Everyone needs to know. You need to be getting the word out there. Get on the socials. Let everybody know. Twitch.tv/RL Esports. Because G2 could very well be playing for, not necessarily their tournament lives, but that rope's about to get an awful lot shorter.
I can't believe.
They are hanging on. They are hanging on, and it's just going away.
How is this happening? What is going on? Because not only are G2 struggling in a matchup that we thought they were going to dominate, but even when they started to show the weaknesses in defense, even when they played a more solid game, which they just did, by the way, that was more consistent. I didn't see a lot of hesitation, but Power are stepping up. They are producing quality that we expect to see from G2. I mean, this squad, Power, they're the second seed from OCE coming into this event, but really, they're the team that most of us expected to be the best coming out of OCE because they've won the most recent 2 regionals in OCE. It was the massive fall off in confidence that's happened in the past 2 or 3 days from them that's had myself doubting them, it's had them doubting themselves, it's had everybody thinking that they're going to struggle in matchups just like this one. But it seems like they are the team who have managed to regain. They're the team who have managed to forget about all that and just focus on one game at a time against a team many thought, myself included, we're going to just run right through them.
You know, I really want to not be a hypocrite right now and just like show the guys over on the A stream like this is happening right now. But I can also hear Jorby. Apparently that is also very exciting. Whatever is going on over there.
I bet it is. It's been a good streak of matches over there in the A stream. Those sweeps. You know, as far as sweeps go, this would be one of the more memorable ones. This would be one of the most unexpected results in the history of RLCS.
I don't think OC are going to get greedy enough where they need it to be. You know what, for now, I think they would very happily just not see any more games. Like, get it done here.
No, get it done, but don't give G2 momentum. If you're playing Power right now, if you're the Power coach, you're the Power manager, you're hoping that you just get a G2 out of here as quickly as possible. Because we've all seen what G2 can do. If they get 1 win, that can easily be 2, and suddenly they're the team reverse sweeping you. You can't give them a foothold in the series. You have to keep the pressure on. You have to keep up with the bumps, keep up with the passes, just keep on going for the ball with no hesitation. Oh, that's unreal from Fever. He was running away from a bump. He wave dashes into an interception. Fever's been class.
He's resettled.
Absolute class.
He had about 2 minutes in the last game where I was really worried for him because he was making some very silly mistakes and putting his team in a lot of trouble. But ever since the setup, he's been right back to the Fever that we know he should be.
I mean, he's been talked about, like I said, such
there
a
it is.
light. Look at it.
Oh, okay. Wasn't going to be that easy.
This really should be hitting the target there, but he was playing catch-up the entire time.
Come back.
Looks like there was someone back, but Atomic had an opportunity there. Didn't get back to the ball. It's been Fever's speed and his efficiency that I've been most impressed with. When he goes, he gets there. When he tries to beat someone to the ball, he often has in a matchup where you'd think he would be struggling to catch up to an organized G2 Esports.
You heard me referencing jumping at ghosts in the last game. This is kind of an example of what I mean, especially right now as well. It would help if Power do get rid of the ball, but they're not expecting G2 to be somewhere. They are reading where G2 are, making the right decisions based on what they know is happening on the field, rather than what they think G2 and a team of their caliber should be doing. As he got away with that.
Yes, Jago accidentally blocking his teammates clear, but nothing too bad has happened off the back of that. Horsos playing keep away brilliantly here. Fever brought in, not the best shot by him, but well worked by Power with the pass and the mind game. Once again, Power are creating chances. They're the team who look the more likely to score. G2 are just, it looks like they're just playing not to lose at the moment. They don't go for it enough, in my opinion. Look how many times Power are getting right up next to the G2 goal and testing the woodwork.
Oh, that's a good challenge to run. Atomic had to be defensively aware. All these challenges coming through. Power forced to restart again, and Torstov's actually started the aerial for this. That's got it to work. Demo on 1. Fever gets another to jump. 90 seconds, 0-0. Power have got glory in their side.
No way.
Oh, couldn't quite find the double. Now we got to come to the side of the field, but J-Nabs' touch is far too heavy, and Torsos can just sell things down again.
Well, you know, if Fever had 5 more boosts, I think he scored in that. He had the read. He just didn't have enough boost to get back to the ball. Power continuing to clear the ball with relative ease, where the G2 interceptions we're used to seeing. Where's the G2 pressure we're used to seeing? Atomic just a hair away from catching on the infield pass. Now he's past one. JNaps collects.
Oh,
it looks like Fever.
What a play!
Oh, he's done so well. He's trapped the ball between his car and the wall, got his flip back, and then just eased it to safety with no chance of G2 scoring in that entire time.
That was good before the reset.
Oh my!
Chicago! You saw the boost. He finished with 1 at the time that he made contact with the ball. Oh, that's not great. Who's first? Oh, Atomic! Now it's Source on the opportunity. He's got there. It's so close. Amphis can't get it across the line either. And G2 just saw this series almost get away from them.
Well, Atomic missed the initial read. He somehow got back to the ball. I'm not sure how much he knew about it, but the ball stays out of the G2 net. That's all they'll care about right now. Power have had by far the better chances in this game. They'll feel like they should be ahead. Now G2 have double committed. It's last man, Atomic. He does well. He gets it back into the middle. It's off the bar. Once again, G2 with a late winner attempt.
Oh, Amphis
keeps it up. I don't think he knew it was dropping on him.
Anywhere but there, Torsos.
They might work with this. No, it's actually going to be an overtime. G2 let it happen.
Well, here we go then. Power 1 goal away from putting G2 into the elimination parts of the bracket. Already said that the 2-2 round was going to be horrible to be in. That's let alone talking about the 0-2 round, the 1-2 round if they even make it there.
What a gauntlet that'll be if it's James G's G2. Imagine you have to play Carmine Corp Falcons G2. That's what's currently happening.
Well, G2, if they lose this, would have to then win 6 series in a row to win this tournament.
Yeah. Something that they have, I believe, done before.
That's just a lower bracket run.
It would have been 5, maybe.
Gotta get there first.
Yeah, they desperately need to just win a game here, get a foothold in this series. Power just trying to get rid of them right now and completely reset their tournament, go back to an even game win-loss differential themselves. That's the same as Gen G Esports, ladies and gentlemen. Power with a chance to get right back into the mix. Reset from Amphis, ball gets away from him. A lot of boost for Chicago to work with. G2 stretched pretty thin at the moment, and Fever's up early. Fever in 3-0. G2 Esports with another nightmare in Europe.
OCE back on the Rocket League map. Power 3, G2 0.
One of the greatest upsets in RLCS history. Power sweep G2 Esports. That's a bigger upset than Sandrock sweeping them last season, I would say. This is crazy, given the fact that Power were 0-3 in their first series of the day. What a regain by them. G2 will start today, tomorrow, 0-2.
Hi, by the way. Yeah, you've caught us during a bit of a moment of disbelief.
We thought we were thinking to ourselves when we saw this schedule we've got, well, that's probably 2 sweeps, but not this direction. We didn't think it was going to be Power sweeping G2.
I mean, at least we're keeping it quick, but... Oh.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
We're struggling over here, but...
I've got no words to explain how that has happened. Now, how have Power 3-0 G2?
Just like, yeah, I've done it again. Of course I've done it again. Well, it was the team that was put together to do this.
They're an OCE super team. Their form is coming, way down coming into this event. They were not confident at all. Everybody's been telling me G2's destroying everybody in scrims. They're looking great. And now suddenly Power are right back up, peaking, and G2 are in the bin completely. NA in the bin. Can they get out? Can NA get out of the bin?
Set me up well here, actually, because for me, OC for the last year or so, it was like that meme where it's just like holding up the fresh new toy. I don't want to play with you anymore. Yeah. But everyone else, they're like, OC is just on mine. And then suddenly we're all looking, just going, you know what, OCE?
It's looking pretty good, actually.
Well, yeah, let's get you back over here with Mina and Sam.
If the goal here was to just get some quality wins and prove that they are going to be fighting against the best teams in the world, like Mina and like Sam have been at the last few events, they've done it. That is job done. They've just beaten G2 Esports confidently. That was a sweep if I've ever seen one. I mean, G2 were just trying not to lose.
I mean, that game one, you can definitely argue like G2 just were not there.
Yeah.
Game 2 and 3 though.
Oh, Power
forced to fight.
Great goals, like quality goals. I'm so impressed with Power's offense, the passing, the trust that they had in each other to nail those infield passes. Look at the winning goal. Fever up a year before the defense, who were just hoping that he hits the bar. Free shot because he had the faith in the pass landing. G2's interceptions, nowhere to be seen. They were just completely outplayed by a wonderfully performed power roster, who I completely underestimated. I'll be the first to admit.
All right, well, we're going to have to somehow look forward because just like everyone else, we've got other matches happening today.